Hello, and this video is just going to be a quick overview for the Starved Modular Male Zombie asset pack that I have on the Unreal Marketplace at the moment. So the first thing I wanted to go over really quick was the Morph Poses. So I've got the dismembered limbs here. Both of the heads have the Morph Poses there, and if we have a look at the actual zombie bodies themselves as well, we'll see that they all have the same Morph Pose controls here. And if we have a look quickly, we can see we've got the mouth control, we've got the snarl, and then we have 8 controls for the eyes. And this is all controlled through blueprints, and I include examples for that so you can get started. And if you want to copy and paste these over to your own AI blueprints, that's very easy to do as well. So as you can see, the snarl works on all of these guys. And that's essentially the morph poses. So if we have a look at these examples here, this is the AI. They're not inside a container, a nav mesh, so they are just going to be standing still. And if you see while they're moving, their mouth, their expression, and their eyes will all randomly move. And there's a blueprint set up. You can control the speed, or you can use it as a starting point for more complex sort of systems where you play sounds when they sort of roar and open their mouth and things like that. So there's a lot of sort of things that you can do here. And yeah, that's the morph poses. So the next thing that I was going to show you was the AI sample with the game ready zombie randomization. So also included in this pack is a basic AI sample, and it's not particularly good. It's pretty basic. It's just a sort of go-to sort of thing. Just a starting point really. The thing that you'll probably be using more is the game ready zombie randomization, and you can copy and paste this code. It's all inside the construction script. You can copy and paste this into any other AI marketplace asset and basically have these randomized zombies spawning using other people's AI packs, which I know a lot of people will be doing, so I've tried to design that with that in mind, so it's easy to set up with other people's things. So if we have a look at this really quick and we reopen this map, you'll see that each time we do, the clothes regenerate. And it's a little bit harder to tell, but all of the clothes are also randomly generating gore masks on top of them as well. So some shirts are a lot bloodier than others, and this is all controlled through mask randomization. That's more of an expensive feature, but I've included the blueprint with a comment marking it. So if you want to disable this, you can, or if you want to see how it's done, it's there as well. The real handy thing with the blood is as the zombies get more damaged, you can make them covered in more gore, which is a really nice effect when it's happening in real time. So yeah, and the clothes will all also randomly randomize, as well as the hair. And if we have a look at that, they'll all run around and they'll all have the randomized facial morphs happening as well, you can see. So that is the basic AI and the randomization that I include. So again, this is really quick to set up. I've got a Discord server and I offer email support as well, so if you do get stuck, it's no problem for me to quickly walk you through it. I've got some YouTube videos as well, but like I said, I've designed with that in mind, so that sort of thing is really easy to do. So the next thing I want to talk about is the dismemberment. So I include dismembered examples. I don't include a dismemberment system. You need to set that up yourself, but I include the things that you need to get started with it. And I've custom set all of the physics assets and all of the constraints, so the ragdoll will react appropriately. It's not going to bend in a weird way, and it looks pretty nice when it all stacks up. So out of the box, you've got a nice ragdoll to work with on all of the dismembered pieces as well as on the full bodies. So one way to take this a step further is if we have a look at the materials. So with the materials, I include 4 variations for the body, 4 variations for each head, and then I include 4 variations for the jeans and 6 variations for the singlet and the t-shirt. So if we look at this zombie here, we can see where it splits nice and quickly at the arms, at the legs, and at the head. So if we stop this, and we have a look at our dismemberment masks that are included. I include a general mask that covers the whole body, and you can change the color of these masks and also the roughness. So if you don't want it to be a gore mask, you can change the gore mask to instead be a dirt mask. You know, that's really up to you. You can get creative with that sort of thing. And again, you can update these in real time. So as the character's losing health, you can make him get more bloody. And it's a pretty nice effect to have in game. When you dismember the zombies, generally you want to spawn a decal or some sort of effect at the dismemberment point. Now instead of having to change the whole material and juggling a million different textures, you can just use the mask. So with the body here, we've got the head gore mask, which will apply some around the neck. Now you can see there's a gross seam there which doesn't quite work. When the head gets dismembered, you have to set the masks on both things. So as you can see there, you've got the gore mask when it separates. There's a slight seam, but as I said, these things are meant to be used once the head separates from the body. So if we simulate this now, when the head's separating and the body's falling on the ground, it's a little bit more bloody than what it was originally. So anyway, let's take that a step further. We'll go back to the body material. We'll set the right leg gore mask, the left leg gore mask, the right arm gore mask, and the left arm gore mask. So now, when we spawn the zombie, and he starts exploding, there's a bit of a decal around the dismemberment point. So if you combine this with particles, extra decals, things like that, you've got a very nice starting point. Another thing to keep in mind with this as well is it's very easy to export these sort of UV maps here and use them to make your own masks and dismemberment masks. So if you want to customize these, that's very easy to set up and do, and you could just use a tiling texture here as well. It doesn't need to be a full texture, but you might just get some seams. So yeah, that is the dismemberment and the dismemberment features that I include. The master material itself is pretty powerful as well. There is detail mapping, so if you zoom in really close, you can see pores on the body that might not show up in the video, but you can definitely see the skin micro details. It looks very good. So I also include the modular master pose examples. So this will show you how to set up the body with all of the different limbs. So if you want to spawn a zombie bit by bit like this, and you want to do it in a way that uses just the one animation system and the one ragdoll system, you need to do it with master pose examples. And it's very simple, but I've included demos on how to get it working anyway, so you guys can get that set up out of the box. And that covers just about everything. There's also the zombie showcase map. Now I went a little bit overboard on this map and I included every single variation that there is without using any of the gore masks. So once you start including the gore masks, there is thousands and thousands of unique variations that you can get from these guys. But what we've also got here, which is pretty handy, is the showcase script. So you can see all of the zombies here, all the different variations. But if we go to the Burley scatter test map, it's a little bit more fun to show this off. So this is only for versions 4.24 and above. You have a look when it gets in. There's some instructions here on what you need to do. But really quickly, you just need to go to the subsurface profile and click Enable Burley. And I've already changed some of the settings there. And now we've got this really awesome sort of skin shader effect where you can sort of see the skin tone hues where the light is reflecting. So if we click on this guy and we go to details, you can see all of these different options that we have here. And this is the showcase setup. So if you want to give him hair, you want to give him a singlet or a shirt, long jeans, change the zombie type, change the materials. You can do all of that through here, and this is just a fun way. Say, you know, you might not want to have unlimited variations of zombies in your game, so instead of having unlimited zombies, what you can do is come through, find variations that you particularly like, and then you can use those variations from there in your game. So this doesn't save them or anything, you'll still have to set them up, but it's a nice way to preview it quickly. You can turn on some extra lights. You'd have to play with the exposure settings, they're not made for this one, but there's a whole heap of different controls through here that let you preview it. So if we simulate this now, you'll see the lights sort of rotating around the character. But yeah, like I said, this is only for 4.24 and above, so I highly recommend using the latest version of Unreal anyway, because there's lots of great features. But the Burley scattering is one of them that I use in this asset. So that covers just about everything for this overview. It went a little bit longer than I had hoped, but I will include some timestamps, so hopefully it's a little bit easier to follow along with. Thanks for that, and I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please hit me up on the Discord, and I'll be there to help.